Here are the starters for Canisius: Mallory and Downey, along with Ducks in the backcourt, Jones and Moulton Sproul. Up front for the Orange, it's McNamara and Duaney at the guards. Craig Forth is the center. Carmelo Anthony and Hakeem Warwick are the forwards. The head coach for Canisius in his 6th year is Mike Donald. Record of 73 and 81. And for the Orange Man, it's Jim Boeheim. Just picked up career victory number 630 in his 27th season at the helm for the Orange. 65th meeting between Syracuse and Canisius. The Orange lead the all-time series 40-24. They've won 15 straight. The last Canisius win coming back in the 74-75 season. The officials for tonight's game: Donnie Gray, Ray Perrone, and John Hughes. Canisius bringing in a local product who's proud of it. John Ferris still wearing his Liverpool High School t-shirt. He wore it all throughout warm-ups. A proud Central New Yorker, and he's the 6th man for the Canisius Golden Griffins. We're about set to get underway. Hakeem Warwick jumping center against Yaku Moulton Sproul for Canisius. Ball is in the air, tipped and controlled by the Golden Griffins. That's Brian Dukes with it, senior guard. SU comes out playing man-to-man. And quickly a turnover. Syracuse will get the ball back after the bad pass by the Griffs.
I think we're going to see a change in Syracuse's intensity defensively this game. Last game to get it right before they head into conference play.
They did not play well defensively in the last game against Albany, but then again, Syracuse had some matchup difficulties against the Great Danes, who basically played about 5 guards out on the floor. Canisius also playing man-to-man. Jerry McNamara takes it down to the corner. Warwick out top, spinning in the lane. Warwick draws the personal foul, and he'll go to the free throw line for a couple.
And right off the bat, Syracuse goes to Warwick in the paint. That's always a good choice. Catches the ball right around the foul line, and with them big, long legs, makes a quick spin and gets to the basket with authority. Draws the foul.
He had a fantastic game against Albany, averaging 15.6 points per contest to go along with 9 rebounds. Missed the first free throw. He'll have one more. If Warwick can continue to score in Big East Conference play, as he has been in these non-conference games, it's going to make Syracuse all the better. He makes 1 out of 2, so the Orange are on the board first, but the fans still have to stand and clap because that doesn't count. You got to get a field goal before the fans can sit down. They're still up with a rhythmic clap, 1-0 Orange. Canisius with the ball. Dukes head of the key. Nice bounce pass down low, and Moulton Sproul lays it in, and Canisius takes an early 2-1 lead. Orange quickly in transition. Duaney on the right side, lob it down low. Forth tries to feed Warwick, knocked away and stolen by Richard Jones of Canisius. Here come the Griffins in transition. Dukes leave it off for Downey, bounce it down low. Moulton Sproul runs over Forth, no whistle. But Moulton Sproul's pass is stolen away by the Orange. Warwick ahead for McNamara. Jerry out between the circles. Carmelo lob it down low for Forth. Turns and draws the foul on Yaku Moulton Sproul. Only the second team foul on Canisius, a non-shooting foul. Syracuse will inbound from beneath the basket, and that's already 2 fouls quickly on the starting center for Canisius, Yaku Moulton Sproul, and he's going to have to check out of the basketball game.
Syracuse 2 trips down the floor, 2 attempts to get it in the paint. Can't get the Canisius big man in foul trouble early.
Here's Carmelo driving a lane, laying up and in. Carmelo Anthony, silky smooth on the move, and the Orange lead by 1. He has not been stopped all year long. He scored at least 20 in every Syracuse game this year. Not bad for a freshman.
Not at all. When Syracuse has the balance that they do offensively, it's going to make them even more difficult to stop.
This is Mallory, Hadari Mallory. We featured him at the top of the broadcast. He can shoot it from long range. Richard Jones for John Ferris already checking in. Ferris on the drive, has it rejected by Forth. Second try for Ferris. Forth blocks it again. Rude homecoming for John Ferris. The Liverpool High School product has 2 straight swatted by Craig Forth.
Good piece of defense there by Forth to see him hold his ground. The block there, and here he is straight up. A little contact there, no call.
Back live, Hadari Mallory scores on the drive, and Canisius reclaims the lead at 4-3. Mallory, a versatile player, can score on the inside and the outside. Here's Carmelo. He'll launch a three. Missed it long. Long rebound comes down to Duaney. Weth on the drive. Gets bottled up, feeds Warwick in the paint. Nice look down low for fourth. Pump fakes and lays it in.
Great ball movement. Duaney, nice pass into the post to Warwick, who gives a head fake and drops it back door.
Orange back up by one. Mallory for Dukes. Gets a step on McNamara and hits the runner. Nice move by Brian Dukes.
Nice head fake gets McNamara to sail by and able to hit the little runner.
Canisius looking pretty tough in the early going here. A couple nights ago, Albany was really no match from the outset. Carmelo with it on the drive. Leave it off. Weth will try a three. He missed it. And the ball bounces over the backboard out of bounds to Canisius. Jeremy McNeil into the game now for Syracuse. He'll replace Craig Forth. Some good minutes from Craig Forth early. A couple of blocked shots out of him to go along with 2 points. Griffs lead by one. Mallory picked up by Carmelo. SU still playing man-to-man defense. Downey now for Dukes. Gets around McNamara again. Banks it up, no good. Rebound, Duaney. Here comes Queth in transition. Leave it off for G-Mac. Three. Got it! And count the basket! He got fouled on the play! G-Mac will go to the free throw line to try to complete the four-pointer.
Spots up for the big-time deep ball. In a little contact, able to knock it down. You see Duaney, good presence of mind to find the open shooter. Max spots up, bangs the deep one. With the contact, he's at the line for one shot.
Foul on Brian Dukes of Canisius. Third team foul for the Griffs. First on Dukes. McNamara completes the rare four-point play, and SU's lead is 3, 9-6. More man-to-man out of the Orange. Kevin Downey leaves it off for Mallory. Will take a wild shot. That's an air ball. That one really had no chance from the outset. Warwick the rebound off the floor. Feeds McNamara. Here comes G-Mac in transition. Gets in the paint. Feeds Warwick. Turns. Double teamed. Nice look for McNeil. Reverse. No good. Ferris the rebound for Canisius.
Good strong move for the big man. Unable to finish there.
Ferris leaves for Mallory. Mallory, a senior from Buffalo, leaves it off for Richard Jones. He hits the moving jumper. And Jones, the Boston native, gets two more for Canisius, and the lead is back to 1. Carmelo Anthony for Syracuse. Leaves it off for McNamara, back for Carmelo. McNamara left alone. Missed it. Warwick battles for the rebound, gets it. Akeem going up strong and count that one. He was fouled on the play, and Akeem Warwick will have a chance for a three-pointer.
Great hustle, and Syracuse sends 3 players to the offensive glass with McNeil, Warwick, and Duaney hammering the offensive boards. Warwick able to pull it in and elevate above the rim for the finish.
Chris Ravello in for Canisius. He replaces Hadari Mallory. And Warwick at the free throw line. He already has 3 points tonight to go along with a couple of boards. And Warwick completes the three-point play. A three-point play from Warwick, a 4-point play from McNamara, and SU has a 2-point lead. But Canisius looking pretty tough from the outset. The Orange, though, still lead by 4. Back to the Carrier Dome and Jim Boeheim Court right after this. Doug Wright and Dan Lietka back at the Carrier Dome. Akeem Warwick active on the glass in the early going.
McNamara, the deep 3 ball, and there's Warwick working the offensive boards and gets to the free throw line with a finish there.
Each team 4 of 8 from the floor. Canisius will have the ball after we return from the officials' timeout. They break the press easily. Whoa, what a block by McNeil. He just swatted that shot from Richard Jones. Jeremy elevating.
And you break the press, and look what's waiting for you at the end. Jeremy McNeil, return to sender. Sends it out of bounds.
Get that shot out of here, says the big fella. And how about the hustle by G-Mac? Going after the loose ball, crashed through the Syracuse bench. He's back. Canisius will keep the basketball after the highlight reel block from Jeremy McNeil.
Syracuse big on the defensive end, 3 blocks already. And it's certainly a nice luxury to have McNeil on the back end of that press when the offense breaks through.
Jones will try from long range and hit. If you can't take it to the hole, why not try a 3? That one works for Richard Jones. He's the guy who just had a shot blocked. Jones brings Canisius back within 1. Canisius now playing a 2-3 zone. Josh Pace in the game for Syracuse now. Alley-oop for Warwick. He lays it in. And count that one, he got fouled. How in the world did he keep control of that ball and lay it in despite being fouled?
How did he keep control of that ball knowing the defender is right underneath him? Great body control above the defense. Awesome play. And you see a great look by McNamara. And look at the defender right under him. Has the presence of mind to pull that in and lay the ball in the hoop.
Warwick completes a 3-point play. He's getting his points in 3s so far tonight. 15-11. SU back up by 4. And more pressure from the Orange. The Griffs break it. That's Ron Wyatt with it down low. He kicks it back outside, and Canisius will set up the offense. That's Brian Dukes, senior from Orchard Park. No doubt a Buffalo Bills fan. I mean, how can you grow up in Orchard Park and not be a Bills fan?
Yeah, no way you can't be, right?
Chris Ravello with it now. Back for Dukes.
And with McNeil into the game, Syracuse switches to the 2-3 zone. They can extend that zone with Korth not being quite the shot blocker to McNeil, as they can switch to a zone and get out on the wings and defend that perimeter shot.
Steal for the Orange. Carmelo leads the break. Warwick will take the short jumper. Missed it. Josh Pace battles for the rebound, but he can't get it. Ron Wyatt grabs it away for Canisius. Here come the Golden Griffs. Brian Dukes. Shut off by McNamara this time. He has to take it back outside. SU falls back into that 2-3 zone. We've seen some man, we've seen some 2-3, we've seen some pressing from SU. Dukes feeds, Ferris drives a lane, and we're going to have a foul on Syracuse on the drive. Foul's on Carmelo Anthony, his first, and the team's first.
You see Ferris presents himself nicely at the foul line and takes it with authority down the lane. Draws the reach-in foul on the way to the hoop.
Ferris, the junior from right here in Liverpool. The entire team was over at his place for dinner last night.
His parents are no dummies. They didn't invite us to break the budget.
Well, you know, his parents run a catering business, Ambrosia Catering, and they put out the spread, I hear. Offensive rebound on a missed free throw by Mallory, and he follows it home. Canisius cuts the SU lead to 1. That home cooking paying off so far for the Griffs. McNamara for Pace. Warwick on the baseline, drives against Ferris, who shuts him off well. GMAC now will pull up and take the jumper, missed it. Carmelo, the offensive boards going up strong, misses. Second try, no. Third try for Warwick, goes.
Syracuse owning the offensive glass. Canisius needs to do a better job of getting position under there, boxing them out. Syracuse having their way on the 10.
SU does have a size advantage, especially with Moten Spruill on the bench with those 2 fouls. There's a goaltend. It's going to go against Warwick. 2 points for Canisius. I think that one hit the backboard first, and that always means goaltending.
Yep, Ravello beats Pace there, and you're right off the backboard, and Warwick up with the big goaltend.
Coach Boeheim not pleased so far. His team has been unable to put together any kind of a run against Canisius in the first half. Syracuse has enjoyed explosive first halves as of late here at the Dome. Carmelo misses. McNeil misses. Carmelo misses again. And the rebound to Mallory of the Golden Griffs.
Syracuse getting too many looks on the offensive glass.
Dukes drives, little runner goes. Canisius has the lead at 18-17. SU's shooting has been a problem so far. The Orange is 6 of 16 from the floor.
Dukes with the old school running hook there.
Wet Duaney drives against Mallory. Leave it off for GMAC's open 3. No good. They're just not falling for the Orange men so far. And Jeremy McNeil's going to pick up the foul on the rebound.
Good position there by Mallory. Boxed him out. McNeil over the back. Little contact, easy call there for the official.
Syracuse now 6 of 17 from the floor. Only 1 of 5 from 3-point range as Kevin Downey checks back in, replacing Chris Ravello for the Griffs. Mallory, nice feed. Dukes on the drive, missed the shot. It was contested by McNeil. Here come the Orange men in transition. Duaney knifing through the lane. Queth, runner, no. McNeil's tip won't go either. And Mallory, the rebound for Canisius. SU just can't buy one lately. Ferris in transition lays it in. And Canisius has a 3-point lead, shocking the Orange here at the Carrier Dome.
Nice transition. Dukes a beautiful find there. Hits Ferris in transition with the easy bucket.
Let's see if SU can solve the offensive woes. Inside, it's Warwick. He misses the short shot. Rebound comes down to Canisius. Brian Dukes. Griff's on the run. Dukes kick it back out from Mallory. Thought about the three, but instead drives. Downey does the same thing. Rejected by McNeil. Carmelo tries to save it in. Canisius comes down with the ball. Ferris open for three. Missed it. Duaney the rebound for Syracuse. How about Jeremy McNeil? How about Carmelo from way outside? No good. Ferris the rebound. McNeil went over his back. Second straight time he's done that. Another foul on the Orange. But first we have an official's timeout. Syracuse getting all it can handle from the Golden Griffs. Canisius leads the Orange by 3. Doug Wright alongside Dan Liedke back at the Carrier Dome. Canisius surprising Syracuse so far with a 3-point lead in the early going. Syracuse is not getting it done from behind the arc so far, Dan.
The last few games they've really lit it up from deep range, and today just 17%. They're struggling from the perimeter.
Struggling all around from the floor. 6 of 21 shooting overall for Syracuse in this game. Just 1 of 6 from 3-point range. And Canisius has the ball to go along with that 3-point lead. Richard Jones feeds Brian Dukes. Now for Mallory. On the drive. Runner won't go. Josh Pace the rebound for Syracuse, and he'll look the run. McNamara back for Pace. In the lane. Lefty runner. Bounces around. It won't go in. Mallory the rebound for Canisius. Outlet for Dukes. Almost lost it. Mike Hanley grabs it for him. Now a feed down low for Hanley, and he's fouled by McNamara.
Great ball movement there by Canisius. A reversal, and then a quick pass down in the paint. They find Hanley under the basket. Watch the passing. One pass, 2 quick passes, and they get the mismatch there. That's McNamara on the reach in on Hanley, and he's at the free throw line shooting 2 shots.
Hanley, just a freshman from Ontario, giving Canisius its biggest lead of 4 points. Carmelo Anthony back in, and Syracuse may need some offense out of their freshman sensation. Akeem Warwick sits down. Carmelo with 4 points of SU's 17. As Hanley makes another free throw. He makes both. It's a 5-point lead for the Griffs. 5-point lead for Canisius, 22-17.
They've done a much better job on the defensive end rebounding the basketball. Canisius, good position under there, very physical.
Pace for Carmelo. Drives, gets in the lane, lays it up and in. That's pretty tough to stop. He just used Richard Jones on that one. Carmelo has 6. The lead is down to 3 for Canisius. Kevin Downey feeds Brian Dukes. Dukes on the drive against McNamara. Has it stripped out of bounds, last touch by G-Mac, and Canisius will keep the basketball. It's been a pretty good matchup, McNamara against Dukes so far.
Pretty even in the paint. Syracuse last few games they had a huge advantage.
Hanley gets 2 more for Canisius in the paint, and it's back to a 5-point lead for the Golden Griffins. Canisius was blown out early in a game at Notre Dame. They ended up losing that game by 18 points. And one thing Canisius players said as Forth takes a jumper from the free throw line and misses. Rebound for Pace, comes back out though to Canisius. Dukes on the drive, and he brings it back outside. Jones takes the 3 and misses. Carmelo grabs the rebound. Here comes Anthony in transition for the Orange. Carmelo gets double teamed. Kick it back outside for Duaney. One thing the Canisius players said was that they spent the first part of the game watching the game, not playing in it. Duaney hits a 2 just inside the line. It's back to a 3-point game. But Canisius certainly not watching here. They are participating fully against these Orange men.
Very patient offense. 3-4 passes before they look for a shot, running the shot clock down. Good movement without the basketball.
We've got a foul away from the ball. McNamara whistled for his second personal foul. Warwick checks in for Syracuse, replacing McNamara. Syracuse getting nothing so far out of its bench. Canisius with 9 points from its reserves.
Yeah, great play off the bench. Their starting center in foul trouble. They brought Ferris in. He's done a nice job down low as well as Hanley.
Brian Dukes with it for Canisius. That's Kevin Downey. Ferris head of the key. Downey gets a step, kick it back outside for Dukes. Open from the corner is Ravello. Missed it. He had the open three, but couldn't get it to fall. Rebound for Carmelo Anthony of Syracuse. Josh Pace will assume the point guard role now with Jerry McNamara on the floor. Get it down to the corner for Warwick. It's in the paint, goes up and scores.
He can be stuck under that basket and still come out to the front of the rim and create.
Here's Ravello for Canisius, kicks it back out for Ferris. Leave it off Hanley, had to change his shot and actually feed Ferris with it rather than shoot. Ferris misses, rebound to Syracuse. Here comes Josh Pace. Leave it off for Carmelo. Back for Pace on the drive, kicks it back out for Duaney. He penetrates, finds an open fourth on the baseline, and he's hammered. Craig Forth will go to the free throw line for two.
Good patience there by Syracuse, not forcing any shots. Duaney finds Forth alone on the baseline. A good, strong, aggressive move to the basket. Nice catch and goes up hard. Draws the foul.
Foul goes on Chris Ravello. 6th team foul for Canisius as Forth, the sophomore from the Albany area, knocks down the first. He'll have one more. Canisius going back to its big man. Yaku Moten Sproul checks back in with his 2 fouls. You see him, number 44, with the long arm sleeve on. He's back in the game after picking up 2 quick ones early.
Hanley gave him some quality minutes while he checked in.
Forth makes both, and that will bring us to an official's timeout. Syracuse reclaims the lead at 25-24. Canisius has led by as many as 5, but the Orange have the lead back, and we'll be back to the Carrier Dome right after this. Well, so far, a surprisingly close game from the Carrier Dome. We've had 7 lead changes and 1 tie. And right now the lead belongs to Syracuse, 25-24, with just under 8 minutes to go in half number 1. Syracuse shot 71% from the floor in the win over Albany. So far tonight, they're shooting 34.6% from the floor. And Canisius turns it over. Coach Mike McDonald wants to try to avoid a run out of these Orange men. It seems every half this season, whether it's a first or a second half, SU's been able to put together a big run, let alone that opening game against Memphis. Here's Warwick on the inside, goes up strong, missed the shot. McNeil, a follow, he slams it in.
Again, good work on the offensive glass. McNeil with a high percentage finish.
SU by 3, and they go to the pressure. Kevin Downey is trapped, so he has to call a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Syracuse with a 3-point lead. Let's take a look at what's upcoming for each of these 2 teams. Canisius will warm things up a bit with a trip to Florida International before getting into MAC Conference play with a game against Iona on the road. Iona knocked off North Carolina, so that won't be an easy one. Also, Marist on the road before coming home to face Fairfield, Siena, and St. Peter's before a road trip to Ryder on the 24th of January. For the Orange Men, after this, it's Big East Conference time and a long break before that game at Seton Hall. SU will come back home to the Carrier Dome to take on Boston College, a non-conference game against Missouri. That game on the 18th at Pittsburgh will be Billy Edelin's debut, and then a home game with Seton Hall before road trips to Miami and Rutgers. Looking forward to getting Billy Edelin back, but you got to wonder where they're going to fit him in the way things are going as we look at Billy on the bench right now. We watched him working out before the game, working up quite a sweat. Coach Boeheim had him working hard out here. He got a practice in on this game day. Orange by 3, 27-24. Lob pass down low. Moten Sproul scores. SU was on a 10-4 run until that basket by Yaku Moten Sproul. And it's back to a one-point game, 27-26.
Canisius has done a good job of getting the ball down in the paint, getting some easy looks down there.
Carmelo Anthony. Leave it off for Duaney on the drive. Queth from the corner. Missed it. Rebound to Ferris of Canisius. Here comes Dukes. 3-on-2 break. Feeding Mallory. Driving and scoring. Canisius reclaims the lead. 28-27.
Nice fast break there. I like the way Dukes runs things. Gets to the foul line, makes his decision, and hits the cutter for the easy bucket.
Warwick at the free throw line. Looks inside for McNeil. Decides to take it himself. Warwick. Nice move in the lane. Hits the runner. And the Orange reclaim the lead. Back and forth we go. SU back in the man-to-man. Kevin Downey leaves it off for John Ferris, the Liverpool high school product. For Moten Spruill, over for Mallory on the drive. Some contact, no whistle, but Hadari Mallory scores again. And Canisius goes back up by 1.
Nice slash to the lane. And not an easy shot, a little floater, able to cash in.
Carmelo, three-pointer, misses, rebound, Warwick. Hakeem backs in, turns, missed the shot, but gets his own follow and puts it in. My goodness, is Warwick active on the boards tonight. And Canisius turns it over against the SU pressure. And that will lead us, I thought, to another official's timeout, but nope. Syracuse will inbound from the far sideline. Substitution for the Orangemen. Jerry McNamara back in with his 2 personal fouls. That was the horn to bring in the substitution. SU with 11-5 on the boards.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, big time advantage on the offensive glass. Work last time down the floor. Took the shot, rebounded his own miss. Nobody checked him out. Got the easy bucket.
Warwick draws the personal foul on that baseline drive. And Warwick will go to the free throw line. It's 1-1. 7th team foul for Canisius. Warwick misses the free throw. Ferris the rebound for the Golden Griffins, who trail by only 1 point here at the Carrier Dome to the Syracuse Orangemen. Kevin Downey with it from Mallory for Dukes. Uses a Ferris screen. Dukes penetrating, backing in, kick it back outside. Ron Wyatt hits the jumper. Canisius leads by 1, and while the Orange are struggling from the floor, Canisius is hitting nearly 54%.
Getting a lot of good looks there. Dukes, the penetration, breaks down the defense, finds Wyatt for a little 8-footer.
Warwick has it stripped by Mallory. Canisius by 1 with the ball. Brian Dukes drives against McNamara, stops. Kick it back outside. Mallory, long 3, missed it. McNamara the rebound. Here comes G-Mac in transition, has Carmelo with him. Duaney's the trailer, gets the feed in the corner, but Canisius defends well, gets back. SU will set up the offense. Carmelo, long range, missed again. It hasn't been Carmelo's night from the floor. He's now 3 of 11.
Canisius doing a nice job of getting back, limiting Syracuse's transition game, forcing Anthony there, take a poor shot, played right in Canisius's hands there on defense.
Chris by 1. Ferris back outside for Dukes. Gets a step on McNamara. Duaney shuts him off. Nice defensive play by Queth Duaney. SU with the ball, trailing by a point. Carmelo feeds Duaney. Guarded closely by Downey. Leaves it off McNamara's 3. Missed it badly. The ball is saved in by Carmelo, but Canisius is there. Duaney hustling. The ball's underneath them. Queth grabs it, tied up. Possession arrow to Syracuse, and great hustle from Queth Duaney to keep it alive for the Orangemen, and they'll have the basketball. But first, we do have an official's timeout. 3:33 to go. And half number 1, and Syracuse is getting all it can handle and then some from Canisius. Griffs lead by 1. The Golden Griffins of Canisius lead the Syracuse Orangemen 32-31 with 3:33 to go until halftime. We've had 12 lead changes. We've been tied once. And I don't think a lot of people expected this, Dan.
And there's an interesting stat we don't see a whole lot of. Assists 8-2. That tells me Canisius doing a lot of good movement without the basketball, setting a lot of screens, making that extra pass, finding the open shooter. And Syracuse maybe not so patient, a lot of individual one-on-one moves, and taking some bad shots.
3-point shooting has been Pretty cold from each team. Syracuse just 1 of 8. Canisius only 1 of 6. Expect that to change at some point. The officials talking it over. Donnie Gray, Ray Perone, and John Hughes, our officials here tonight. I guess they're trying to figure out where they're going to inbound the basketball from. I don't know what else it would be. There was a tie-up just before the break. A held ball with Dwayne on the floor beneath the basket. I'm not sure what else they'd be discussing.
Should go out of bounds right near our cameraman. That's where the scrap for the ball was.
And that's what they'll do.
You look at the dominance Syracuse has on the offensive end. Canisius out-rebounding them on the defensive end, but would like to limit Syracuse from getting a lot of trips down the floor where they're getting 2 and 3 looks at the basket.
Discussion about the shot clock, and it'll be set to 32 seconds. Dwayne to inbound. Gets it in for McNamara. Off the screen, and he misses the shot. That's one that's been falling almost all year long for McNamara, and he's not shooting well in this game either. He's 1 of 6. So the SU freshmen are combined 4 out of 17 if you add in Carmelo Anthony's 3 of 11. And that is not like them, at least this year. Mallory guarded by Carmelo. Dukes drives on Dwayne and picks up the personal foul on Queth. Only the 6th team foul, so it will not be a shooting foul for Canisius.
I like Dukes' game, very active, tries to penetrate, passes the ball at the right time, gets the ball to his big men in the right position where they're able to score.
And while these Carrier Dome crowds have been electric, Dan, most of the time this year, it's been awfully flat in here tonight. They haven't had a whole lot to cheer about. Not the usual big plays, the dunks, the three-pointers we've seen in other games here at the Dome this year. Downey, runner, goes. He just threw that one up there to Peter, and it fell. Canisius by 3.
Nice little floater. And Syracuse has to find someone here this trip down that can put the basketball in the hole here.
Waiting for McNamara. Crowd starting to get into the game a little bit more here. Queth will take the jumper. Missed it badly. Rebound to Carmelo. Battling for it anyway. Goes out of bounds. Carmelo touched it last. Canisius gets it back.
The way Syracuse is playing defense, or the way Canisius is playing defense, their zone, but the way Syracuse is shooting the basketball, they're just going to let them take that outside shot till they make a couple, and they can pack that zone in and try and keep the trouble in the paint limited.
3-point lead for the Griffs. They've led by as many as 5. Ferris leads it off for Wyatt. Now here's Brian Dukes, who's had a fine first half. So is Adari Mallory. That 3 is way off the mark. They try to save it in, but the ball will go back to Syracuse. Mallory leads Canisius with 8 points. Richard Jones has 5. It's been pretty steady spread scoring for the Golden Griffins so far. For Syracuse, it just hasn't been the same kind of scoring we're used to this year. Crowd trying to get SU going again. McNamara for Carmelo. Tries a drive, and he circles back out with it. Carmelo now will launch a 3. Missed it. He is now 3 of 12 from the floor. Syracuse has gone 4 minutes without a field goal.
Syracuse ice cold from the perimeter.
Dukes gets a step on Dwayne. McNeil rejects, but they're going to call goaltending on Jeremy McNeil. 2 more points for the Golden Griffins, and Canisius leads SU by 5.
Dukes a tough player to defend, beats Dwayne off the dribble, and throws up the underhand layup. McNeil catches this ball. Let's take a closer look. It was on its way down from its peak. Good call there. But Dukes, what a penetrator. He's able to get himself in good position to score.
Carmelo's getting a little frustrated. I saw him take off his headband and fling it in the crowd. He's not wearing it now. McNamara feeds and draws a personal foul. There's a look at Carmelo. Sands the headband. Tosses it into the 3rd row.
Not used to seeing that without Carmelo without the headband. Hopefully this can change the luck for him shooting the basketball.
McNamara to the free throw line. Makes the first. GMAC with 5 points so far. Only 1 of 6 from the floor. Warwick leads SU in scoring with 13 points.
Open count. One.
He makes them both. Josh Pace back in for Syracuse to replace Queth Dwaney. Canisius, though, still leads this game by 3. Ferris, long inbound. Carmelo didn't turn around. Mallory gets it, drives, up and under, and now the tip goes in. I'm not sure if Carmelo tipped it or if it was tipped in by Wyatt. Either way, it's 2 more for Canisius and a 5-point lead again.
Anthony had a beat on that ball. If he turned around, he could have picked that one off, but Canisius solves the press there.
Carmelo drives, misses the jumper badly. That might be the worst shot I've seen Carmelo take in his SU career. He is now 3 of 13 from the floor. We heard freshmen would have nights like these. Stolen away by Warwick. Hakeem ahead of the field. Look out! That gets the crowd going. SU back down by 3. Canisius will try to hold for the final shot here with 20 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. Syracuse in a half-court trap. Now switching into the man-to-man. Dukes drives by. Pace, runner, blocked. Pace grabs it, foul on Dukes. So with 7.4 to go, Syracuse will have 1 and 1 down the other way. I'm kind of surprised Canisius wouldn't hold that until the final shot and then go to the locker room with at least a 3-point lead.
Dukes tried to penetrate there, looking to get an easy bucket. Turns the ball over and reaches in frustration, sends Syracuse back to the free throw line.
Josh Pace, the sophomore from Griffin, Georgia, not known as a good free throw shooter, has 1 and 1. Makes the first, he'll have 1 more. Yaku Moten-Spruill will check back in for the final 7.4 seconds of the half, replacing Ron Wyatt. Pace with an opportunity to cut this Canisius lead down to 1. Queth Dwaney in for Jerry McNamara. Pace makes the second free throw. It's a 1-point game. 7.4 to go. Here comes Canisius. Dukes on the run with 5. Dukes shut off by Carmelo. Feeds it inside. The ball's thrown up wildly at the buzzer. And no good. Moten-Spruill missed the shot, but how about Mike McDonald? The Canisius coach has got to be excited about the way his team played in half number 1. The Golden Griffins have a 1-point lead over Syracuse at the break. Canisius 38, SU 37. Back to the Carrier Dome after this.
To 4 and in the paint. Very surprising. Syracuse has had their way, but not tonight.
Canisius getting almost 3/4 of its scoring from inside against a much taller Orangeman. We'll see what lies ahead in half number 2. The Orange trail by 1 at the break. Doug Wright and Dan Liedtke back at the Carrier Dome. Canisius with a 1-point lead over Syracuse at the break. The only time Syracuse has trailed at the half this year was that Memphis game, the opener at Madison Square Garden. Syracuse lost that game. Here are the leading scorers, beginning with Canisius. Hadari Mallory has 8. Brian Dukes with 6, and Richard Jones with 5. For the Orangemen, it's been all Hakeem Warwick offensively, 15 points. Carmelo Anthony and Jerry McNamara each yet to get on track. Anthony 3 of 13 from the floor. Not the shooting we're accustomed to from Carmelo Anthony. There's Mike McDonald, the head coach of Canisius. Has to be happy with his team, up by 1 at the break. In the meantime, Syracuse didn't come out of the locker room until 2.5 minutes remained in halftime. So Coach Jim Boeheim had an awfully long talk with his players at the break. Not surprisingly. Canisius leading by 1 with the ball as we start second half play. Syracuse coming out playing man-to-man. That's Kevin Downey with it, a freshman. Tries to feed it inside, knocked away, stolen by Craig Ford. Backs it over for Carmelo Anthony. Here comes Carmelo in transition, feeds G-Mac open for 3. Missed it. The ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Queth Dwaney, and Canisius will have the basketball, but it's one of those shots we've seen McNamara hit time and time again this year. It's just not his night so far, it doesn't seem.
He's been a clutch shooter all year. And as you said, we're so used to seeing him bang that shot.
Coach Boeheim thought the ball went off of Canisius. Did not like the call. Griffins have it. Kadari Mallory splits the defense, feeds inside, and the layup is missed from Moulton Sproul. A break for SU. Here comes Warwick in transition. Akeem feeding Ford. Drives the baseline, turns, lays it up too strong. Warwick to follow. No. Rebound back to the Griffins. Dukes back outside Mallory. Downey will try a three. He missed it. Jones crashes, barrels over fourth, no whistle. Here comes McNamara in transition for Syracuse. He'll pull it back out to the head of the key. Dwayne, 4-3. Rims out. Moulton Sproul the board for Canisius. Syracuse now 1 out of 12 from three-point range. Hard to believe. They came into this game shooting 50% from the floor. Tonight, they're at 30%. Inside, Moulton Sproul has it rejected by fourth. Nice play. Here's Carmelo in transition. Leave it off for McNamara. Drives, gets in the lane, tries to feed fourth. Blocking foul called. Ooh, GMAC might have got away with one there. They don't call the offensive foul. Instead, they get the block against the Grits.
Nice penetration here by McNamara, and you see Duke sets up camp, and he's still moving. Good call there by the ref.
John Ferris re-enters the game for Canisius. The junior out of Liverpool had a fine first half. He replaces Yaku Moulton Sproul. Off the inbound, Dwayne drives, gets in the lane. Queth loses the handle. Carmelo has it though. His reverse won't fall. Dwayne scores on the follow. SU gets the lead back, 39-38.
Anthony shaking his head, can't get the layup to go. Dwayne keeps hustling, working the offensive glass, taps it in.
Dukes gets right by Dwayne and lays it in. That's just not good defense.
Dukes has beat him 3 or 4 times. Makes a good, strong, aggressive cut. Right to the basket, gets by Dwayne, easy bucket.
And Dwayne got no help either. Once Dukes got by Queth, it was clear sailing to the hoop. Dwayne feeds McNamara. Back for Dwayne. Carmelo will try a three. Missed that one too. Carmelo is 3 out of 15 from the floor.
Majority of them been from the long range variety. Like to see him get down low and try and work hard, get some easy buckets, get his confidence back.
He is 0 of 5 from three-point range. Downey will try a three. He misses for Canisius. McNamara the rebound. He's got Warwick trailing.
Say no more. Syracuse out in transition. And a big-time finisher. Warwick, big dunk, gets this crowd out of on his feet, out of the seats.
Up by 1, the Orange men are, and the crowd does rise. Try to get behind the Orange here. Mallory drives around. Carmelo knocked away, almost stolen by GMAC. Down it goes to Downey. Mallory spins, shoots, and scores. Somehow he threw that one up and in, despite being defended by both Dwayne and Anthony.
Tough shot. Fades away, has to alter his shot. Big-time hoop.
Canisius by 1. Dwayne. That last Canisius basket representing the 16th lead change. McNamara for Carmelo, driving. Kick it back outside Dwayne. He's open for 3. Got it!
And the senior, 2 big hoops, showing his leadership qualities.
SU by 2. Mallory down the other way, misses. GMAC saves it in for Carmelo. What a play by McNamara, who lands somewhere out past the cheerleaders in press row. McNamara will just re-enter her screen in a second. There he is as Carmelo drives. Mallory goes flying down, no whistle. Pretty no-look feed for Fort, but he missed the layup.
Wow. I'd like to see him gather his feet and go up strong there.
Dukes will try a 3. Bottoms it out. Canisius goes back up by 1.
Oh, he is gutty. He can get down the lane, and he can step out behind the arc and knock down the deep ball. Dukes is a great player.
If you thought this halftime lead by Canisius was an aberration, you might have thought wrong. They're hanging right with SU in the second half. Carmelo for 3. Got that one to go. Carmelo's got to be breathing a sigh of relief. He puts his hands together in prayer. He hits his first 3. And the Orange reclaim the lead by 2. driving against Dwayne. He hits the shot. Brian Dukes, second time. He's walked right past Dwayne and found a layup.
Need to have rotation on defense there. Fourth needs to step in there, take a charge.
We're tied at 47. McNamara, runner, got it. SU back up by 2. Give these Griffins some credit. They're taking it right at the orange. Down to the baseline. Mallory double team. Missed that one short. Ferris can't get the rebound for the Griff. McNamara does for Syracuse. Here he comes. 3-on-2. Warwick. Foul. Shoots. No good. Foul on the floor first. So it's a non-shooting foul. And Syracuse will keep the basketball. Jeremy McNeil will re-enter the game, but first we have an officials timeout. Syracuse trailed by 1 at the break. They lead by 2 now. 49-47 Orange. Back after this. Back at the Carrier Dome, SU with a precarious 2-point lead. Just over 14 minutes to go in the game.
And there's Dukes. You see Dwayne matched up on him. Has the ball in his left hand, cross over to the right, and just beats him off the dribble. Fourth needs to rotate over and help out, step in, take the charge, and we see Jeremy McNeil into the game. Now we'll see if Syracuse switches back to his zone, try and eliminate that penetration.
Dwayne's got to do a better job straight up, too. He's got to take some of that responsibility himself. Off the inbound, Warwick inside. Steve throws it down!
Right off the inbounds play. Big-time dunk.
That is what you call unstoppable. Warwick with 19 points to lead the Orange. 19 of the 51 so far. SU by 4. Quick pass to the baseline. Mallory hits. These Griffs aren't going away. Back to a 2-point game. Dwayne in the front court for Syracuse for Carmelo. Back for Dwayne. Looks inside, finds Warwick. Nice pump fake, whistle first. Foul on the floor is going to go against the Griffs. They get Ron Wyatt, the freshman from Washingtonville, New York, for the personal foul.
Nice head fake there by Warwick. And Wyatt holds him. Actually froze him, tries to get around, and Wyatt with the hold.
Brian Dukes back into the game after a short break for Canisius. Yaku Moten Spruill also back in. Syracuse will trail from beneath the basket, get it in for Carmelo, goes up, missed the shot, but draws the foul. Carmelo Anthony is one frustrated basketball player tonight.
Much too easy, though. 2 out-of-bounds plays underneath the Syracuse basket. They get a layup and another easy look there. Anthony at the free throw line. Canisius needs to do a better job of defense on the inbounds play.
He has 9 points, well below his season average. Carmelo does have 10 rebounds, so if he makes his free throw, he would have another double-double. He'll have another chance to get that double-double. Carmelo has had a double-double in 6 of 8 games for Syracuse so far in his SU career. He could make it 7 of 9 with 1 more point. John Ferris is back in. The local favorite out of Liverpool checks back in for the Griffs as Carmelo makes the second free throw. So he does have another double-double, 10 points and 10 boards for Anthony. And it's a 3-point lead for the Orange.
Syracuse picked up the shooting this half, getting the ball down in the paint, getting some easy buckets.
Ferris with it, cross-court pass for Ravello. Quick pass on the inside, broken up by McNeil. Good hands there. Warwick takes it away. He feeds McNamara. G-Mac for Dwayne. Kick it back outside. McNamara's 3. Got that one!
And that ball was in the air. The pass to McNamara. I said, if he makes that one, that's a big-time shot. Catches it fading away from 3-point distance, knocks it down.
The SU lead is 6. Canisius calls time. These fans haven't had a whole lot to cheer about. Canisius has been pesky, they've been gritty, they've been gutty, they've been giving the Orange men all they can handle. But SU finally going on the run thanks to some good play at the defensive end.
Switched over McNeil into the game. They switched to his zone. And you see much more active on the defensive end. And McNeil gets his hands up, deflects the ball. And Syracuse out in transition. Something that we didn't see a lot of in the first half, and they're out on the run. More a Syracuse pace game, and G-Mac, big-time tray. Difficult shot. Watch the catch. He's fading away. Defender in his face, able to bang it.
McNamara now with 11, 2 of 7 from 3-point land. Warwick still leads SU in scoring with 19. McNamara with 11, Carmelo with 10. Let's take a look at the latest ESPN USA Today coaches poll. We've got 2 Big East teams in the top 5. Pitt at number 2, UConn at number 5. Duke is still number 1, but Duke got a battle from Dayton just last night. Notre Dame at number 6. You're looking at 3 of the top 6 teams coming out of the Big East. The Big East is back this year, I'll tell you that.
Big time, very deep. A lot of big time players.
Here's the next 5. Michigan State at number 14. The Orange will take on the Spartans. Florida at number 13. Look at Creighton at number 15. Watch out for Creighton come tournament time when you're filling out your brackets. Missouri at number 16, Kansas, Indiana, Xavier, and Maryland at number 20. Maryland just got by Georgia Tech by 7. Georgia Tech, a team that SU blew out here at the Carrier Dome. And here's the last 5. Kentucky, Texas Tech, Wake, NC State, and LSU rounding out the top 25. You'd have to figure if SU can continue to win basketball games, they'll sneak into that top 25 pretty soon. SU 7-1. Holding a 7-game winning streak. But first things first, they got to take care of these pesky Golden Griffins out of Canisius. Ferris for Dukes. Downey with it, back for Ferris. He's a big guy that has the range from there. Mallory double team, deflected. Another steal for SU. In transition, here comes Duaney for G-Max 3. Missed it. Warwick battles for the rebound, but they call a foul on Warwick, who can't believe it. He thought it was going to be against Mallory, but it's on one White. That's Akeem Warwick. First team foul for Syracuse, and only the first foul on Warwick.
Mallory, good position there. Able to rebound that basketball and draw Warwick coming over the back for the foul.
SU by 6. Canisius trying to stop this Syracuse rally. Dukes will try a 3. Missed it short. Long rebound. It's on the floor. Duaney gets there first. Ahead for Warwick. Looking for a trailer. Finds Carmelo for 3. Passes it up for a G-Mac 3. He missed it, but he's fouled. Ferris barrels over Jerry McNamara, and he'll have 3 free throws.
Ferris out there defending the three-point shooter in McNamara. Hacks him in the act. He's going to shoot 3. And that drives a coach nuts. When you follow a three-point shooter there, give him 3 shots from the free throw line.
And McNamara, probably the best Syracuse free throw shooter, will have 3 shots from the line. First one is good. Kind of gave it a little body English, but he got it to fall. The lead is 7. Syracuse starting to pull away a little bit now from Canisius. 2 in a row for Jerry McNamara. 5 for 5 on the game. He has 13 points. Richard Jones back in for Canisius. John Ferris is out. Hadari Mallory also leaves the game for the Griffins. He'll be replaced by Chris Rovello.
You notice the tempo of this game has changed dramatically this half. Faster pace. Syracuse out in the run. More a Syracuse-type game than the Canisius game. First half, Canisius slowed things down. Kind of lulled the Orange to sleep.
McNamara completed the hat trick from the free throw line. He makes all 3. The SU lead is 9. Fans imploring the SU defense. Dukes for Downey. Down low it goes. McNeil with a rejection. He said, get that shot out of here. Here comes McNamara in transition for SU. G-Mac on the drive. A whistle and a foul goes against Canisius. Syracuse will keep the basketball, a non-shooting foul, and only the 16th foul for Canisius this half. We will have an officials timeout. Syracuse on a run. McNeil with 4 block shots tonight. The Orange lead by 9. Back to Jim Boeheim Court at the Carrier Dome after this. Back at the Carrier Dome, Syracuse with a 9-point lead, and Brian Dukes is going to the bench for Canisius. That last foul was called on him, and that's number 4, as you see on your screen, and he's been a very valuable player for Canisius. Dukes with 13 points to go along with 3 rebounds and 4 assists, and he's going to have to sit. Jeremy McNeil, 4 of SU's 9 block shots. Canisius doesn't have one yet. SU leads by 9 off the inbound. It's McNamara driving the baseline, tries to feed it back out, knocked away, stolen. Downey for Canisius, slaps it ahead for Jones. He saves it nicely and bounds for Mallory on the drive. McNeil almost blocked it, and somehow, some way, Mallory got that to fall.
Almost kissed that one off the shot clock. That was at the top of the window.
That one might have brought rain. 7-point lead for the Orange, 58-51. G-Mac will use the McNeil screen and take a 3. He is feeling it. He hits another one. SU's lead is back to 10.
Tells you a lot about his character. He stepped up this half and knocked down a couple of big shots.
I should say it's up to 10. The SU lead, the largest tonight, 10 points. Ravello for Jones. Bounce it down to the baseline for Downey. Trying to feed it inside. Hanley has it back out for a Jones 3, and it's good. Richard Jones cuts it back to 7.
Big bucket there, keeps the Griffs hanging around.
Blaney tries to penetrate, loses the handle. Jones steals it. Hanley now falling to the floor. Out of bounds it goes. McNamara touched it last. You know what? If he didn't touch that, it might have been Syracuse ball.
Yeah. Good hustle players on the floor. I'd like to see the effort.
SU's lead is 7 with 10:25 to go. 3-point shooting has heated up in the second half for each team, particularly for Syracuse, who's made 50%.
From freezing to boiling in the same half.
Down low, Mallory over McNeil. Hung in the air and drew the personal foul on Jeremy. He is so creative with the basketball. Hadari Mallory. And that's the 3rd personal foul on Jeremy McNeil.
Mallory, a big-time perimeter shooter, has made his living this game down in the paint, creating shots, as you mentioned, and able to hang in the air with McNeil and draw some contact, get himself to the free throw line.
It's his first trip. Canisius has only taken 4 free throws in this game. Mallory makes the first. If he can make the second, he'll cut the SU lead back to 5. The Orange had opened up a 10-point lead. Josh Pace in for Queth Duaney at the 10-10 mark. Mallory makes both. It's a 5-point game again. Kind of had the sense when Syracuse took that 9, then 10-point lead that they might pull away, but now Canisius is right back in things again.
Showing some guts, hanging around, making some big shots.
And Pace turns it over. Mallory the steal, and he's fouled by Pace in the backcourt. Only the 13th foul on the Orangemen. Non-shooting foul, and Canisius will just inbound the ball from the backcourt.
Canisius working hard on defense, creating some turnovers. See hands up, very active out in the passing lanes last few times down the floor. They've worked hard, come up with a couple steals.
5-point lead for the Orange. Canisius with the ball. That's Ravello. Syracuse playing 2-3. McNamara and Pace hustling out of the top of that zone. Bounce pass down on the baseline. Mallory hits. He is so tough on the inside. Hadari Mallory makes it a 3-point game again.
Great body control. He understands that McNeil's going to be there to block the shot. Nice little hook shot, kind of fades away and knocks it in.
Canisius has scored the last 7 points. Pace almost turns it over. Back for McNamara. Down for Carmelo. Warwick got a piece of it. Thought it was intended for him, and it ends up as a turnover. Coach Boeheim calls for time. And with 9:18 to go in the game, the lead is back to 3 for Syracuse as Canisius has scored 7 straight. Back to the Carrier Dome after this. Canisius has scored 7 straight points against the Orangemen. Syracuse opened up a 10-point lead, but Hadari Mallory has thrown his team right on his back. 18 points for Mallory, and Canisius is down by only 3, and the Griffs have the basketball.
They've worked real hard on defense. They've limited their own turnovers, but they've created many Syracuse turnovers, and they've converted on the other end.
Canisius can tie it on this trip. Jones drives, kick it back outside for Mallory. Skip pass for Dukes, who's back in the game with 4 fouls. Downey in the corner. Back for Dukes. Penetrates, leave it off Jones. Thought about the 3, didn't take it. Dukes drives on McNamara. Downey for Dukes. Shot clock down to 5. They better hurry. Dukes down to the corner. Downey is open for 3, and he hits it to tie the game and beat the shot clock buzzer.
Big-time killer. Syracuse does a great job of playing defense up until about 5 seconds left on that shot clock. They lose track of the shooter, and he spots up, knocks down an open 3.
Whistle and a foul away from the ball is going against Canisius and Hadari Mallory. And that will be his 3rd.
Also puts the Griffs over the limit. Syracuse will be shooting 1-1 from this point on.
Queth Duaney in the game for Syracuse, replacing Josh Pace. So SU back to its starting 5. minus Craig Forth. McNeil is playing center right now. Mallory will take a break with those 3 fouls.
I don't think we'll see him sit very long, maybe a minute.
Carmelo missed the free throw. Ravello the rebound for Canisius. Cripps with the ball in a tie game. Jones for Downey in the corner. Back for Richard Jones. Dukes drive over McNeil, missed his shot, but Jeremy sure affected it, and then the rebound goes out of bounds. Last touch by Warwick of Syracuse.
Good penetration there, and Warwick tries to one-hand that rebound, loses control. Out of bounds, Canisius retains, and Mallory's in about 50 seconds sooner than I thought he would be.
Had a conversation with Coach Mike McDonald, and back in there is Hadari Mallory. Chris Ravello to trigger from beneath the basket, throws it way outside for John Ferris. He's got to be living a dream. The Liverpool product coming into the Carrier Dome. Syracuse led this game 61-51. Canisius has scored 10 straight points, capped off by this three-pointer just before the shot clock ran out.
The Syracuse zone very active, did a nice job. Made Canisius run the clock down to 5 seconds, but they lose track of the shooter, and he knocks a three. That's a big shot at this point in the ball game. We're all tied up.
The only three Kevin Downey has hit all night was a big one. He has only 5 points. That one tied the game. Canisius has the ball after the SU turnover. The Griffs have scored 5 points off turnovers this half, a potential for more on this trip. Dukes for Jones. SU in that 2-3 zone. Downey bounce it down low. Ferris works on McNeil. Kick it back outside for Downey. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Downey penetrates. Runner. Missed it long. Rebound for Carmelo Anthony. His 11th tonight.
I'm sure McNeil had a lot to do with the trajectory of that shot.
Absolutely. We're tied at 61. Warwick down low. Backs in. Spins. Goes up and scores. He is almost unstoppable down low. They got to keep feeding the big man. He's got 21.
Once he gets the basketball down on the blocks, it's all over.
2-point lead for the Orange. Dukes. Downey. Dukes gets it back. He can hit that shot. You got to get out on him. Jones will fire a three. Missed it. Long rebound for Quet Thwaney. Orangemen on the run. Leading by 2. They'll pull it out. Every possession so important down the stretch here. 2-point game. Carmelo. Nice move on Jones. Goes up, draws the foul, and count that basket. Carmelo Anthony's fouled on the play. He'll go to the free throw line to try to complete it.
How long did he hang in the air? He seemed like he was up there a long time, able to draw the contact, hang in the air, and had the great body control and presence of mind to knock that shot in. Very, very athletic move. See, he squares up, faces a defender, beats him off the dribble, hangs, draws the contact, and with his feet almost on the ground, able to knock it in.
And he knocks down the free throw, too. SU back to a 5-point lead. The crowd of 17,305 urging on the defense. Down to the baseline. Mallory draws contact. Oh, my goodness. How did that go in? Count it. Mallory's fouled. This guy's a magician.
Mallory showing why he's a big-time scorer. And Canisius does a nice job against the 2-3 zone of finding the weakness in the corner of the zone. Mallory goes up strong, bodies up with McNeil, throws it in. Awesome shot.
I mean, he had absolutely no angle.
None. And he's gutsy. Goes in there with McNeil and body to body.
Free throw, Mallory, good. 2-point lead for Syracuse. Craig Forth re-enters the game for Jeremy McNeil. That was his 4th personal foul. Syracuse with the ball and a 2-point lead. Canisius extending his own defense against Syracuse. Thwaney for McNamara. Back for Queth. Warwick flashes at the high post. Turns in the lane. He's fouled on the pass. No shot, they say, but it will be 1-1 for Warwick from the free throw line. That is team foul number 9 on the Golden Griffins.
Warwick very fortunate to be headed to the free throw line. They collapsed on him, tried to trap him in the double team, put the ball on the floor. Lucky it wasn't stripped, able to draw the foul.
Warwick at the free throw line. He's made 3 of 5 tonight. And he hits the first. Warwick just a 64% free throw shooter this season. Big pair here. And he makes them both. Warwick has 23 points to lead the Orange. SU up by 4.
Syracuse stays with his zone with Ford back in the game.
Downey for Ferris. Inside for Dukes. Back out for Downey. On the drive. Bounces it down low. Deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Syracuse. The Golden Griffs will keep it with just 14 seconds on the shot clock. Downey gets it in for Dukes. Will have to do something relatively quickly. Dukes looking inside for Moten Spruill. Instead feeds Downey. Dukes gets it back. 4 seconds to shoot. Mallory lets fly. Missed that one. Long rebound. Mallory gets it back. He drives. The runner is no good short. Second try. No. Carmelo takes it away, and he goes down hard. Foul on the Griffins. Carmelo will shoot 2 down the other way. That's the 10th team foul on the Griffs.
Great effort. You see Mallory gets down the lane, able to pull in his own rebound, and great hustle without the ball. Anthony going for the loose ball, draws the foul. And Syracuse last couple trips down, able to get to the free throw line. And Canisius would like to see that clock tick, but Syracuse at the line, clock stopped.
Carmelo Anthony below the season average. 13 points. He does have 12 rebounds, which is a career high, the 12 boards. Carmelo makes the front end. 14 points now for Carmelo Anthony. Hakeem Warwick, by the way, has equaled a career high with 23 points. Warwick leads SU in scoring tonight. Carmelo makes the both. Syracuse leads by 6, 70-64. The biggest lead for the Orange has been 10 tonight. Dukes for Ferris. Back for Dukes. Canisius has been very patient on the offensive end as of late. 15 seconds on the shot clock now. Downey for Ferris. Lob pass down low. Moten Spruill has it blocked. Second try. He scores. Moten Spruill gets it back to 4. And Canisius calls for time.
Nice entry pass there. 4 steps around to front him. And they make a nice pass over the defense. Misses the layup. Stays with it. Cashes in on the offensive end.
We're going to look at that one more time.
See 4 steps around the front, Moten Spruill, and nice entry pass, but he stays with his miss and goes up strong with the offensive rebound.
We have got ourselves a basketball game. 4:50 to go in regulation. Syracuse leads Canisius 70-66. And you know what? If Syracuse can pull out this victory, it could be a valuable learning tool for Coach Boeheim and his staff as they head into Big East Conference play.
A good test before they head into the Big East. A test I bet Coach Boeheim wishes that they didn't have to take, but nonetheless, they're in the middle of it. And like you said, this will harden them for conference play.
We are at Jim Boeheim Court inside the Carrier Dome. Doug Wright alongside Dan Liedtke. Syracuse and Canisius in the final non-conference tune-up before Big East Conference play begins for SU. Syracuse has battled Canisius close all game long. The Golden Griffs have given the Orange all they can handle. In fact, Canisius led this game at halftime by 1 point. Syracuse now holds a 4-point advantage. Carmelo Anthony feeds Duaney. Open 3. Got it! Duaney gives SU a 7-point lead.
The senior, a big-time shot. Nice stroke there.
Downey on the wing. Swing it for Ferris. Looks inside Hanley. Turns. 4th out on him. Ball stripped. Stolen by the Orange. And McNamara's foul.
The zone very active there. And McNamara able to come up with a loose ball. He's back at the free throw line.
G-Mac is all blood and guts.
No question.
Gotta love the way he plays the game.
Leaves everything out on the floor. Gives you 100% every night.
Syracuse has been often criticized for its free throw shooting. Not tonight. 19 out of 23 from the line. McNamara personally has now hit 7 out of 7. 3 new players in for Canisius, including Brian Dukes, the senior from Orchard Park. Dukes with 13 points. Mallory leads Canisius with 21. McNamara now has 18 as he takes the second free throw. Got them both. The Syracuse lead is back to 9. 4:10 to go.
Canisius staying patient, realizing there's a lot of time left, just a 9-point game. Plenty of possessions for them to get back into this game.
Inside pass, fouled by Fort. That's a tough one. He poked the ball away from Moten Sproul. Jim Boeheim is smiling, but not because he's happy. I think he thinks that was a good defensive play by Fort. Foul's called, though. Non-shooting foul. And Canisius will inbound the ball when we return from this final officials timeout. SU by 9. Doug Wright, Dan Liedtke back at the Carrier Dome. The SU lead is now 9. Wes Dwaney, the senior, taking matters into his own hands.
The senior stepping up, just 2 points at halftime. 8 points this half. All of them big shots. He's 3 of 4 from the floor this half. You see the bench is pumped up.
Dwaney now with 10. He's hit 2 of 4 from long distance. Canisius still with the basketball. Under 4 minutes to go. Syracuse has outscored Canisius by 10 in the second half after trailing by 1 at the break. Dukes for Mallory, penetrates. McNamara almost stole it. Back out for Jones. Swing it for Dukes. Down to the corner for Downey. Splits to the fence, gets inside, but it's stolen by Fort. Big defensive play by Craig Fort in the orange. 9-point lead, 3.5 to go. McNamara for Dwaney. Queth looking for Carmelo. Anthony has it on the baseline. Backs his way in. Carmelo. Nice feed for Fort, but he jammed. Carmelo drew the double team and saw Fort for the dunk.
Recognizes the double team and finds Fourth all alone. And no doubt about that one for Fourth.
SU has its biggest lead, 11 points. Canisius calls time. Carmelo Anthony, it might not be his biggest scoring night. He has 15, but what an assist here.
Gets by Mallory, draws the double team, and that leaves Fourth unchecked. Pretty dump, pretty dunk.
And Craig Forth made no mistake. He goes up strong with this one.
Sets his feet and throws it down.
Third assist for Anthony. Syracuse has scored the last 7 points to open things up. And now that patient Canisius offense maybe can't quite be so patient down the other way.
Going to have to take a few quick shots if they hope to get back into this game.
And with the SU students on break, we've got some high school cheerleaders in the house. The Webster cheerleaders here, along with the Syracuse Manoa cheerleaders. 17,305 on hand as well to watch this one. And there's ESM, appropriately attired in orange. Kind of works out.
Yeah, you see my alma mater in the house. Nice to see them step in and help out over the holidays.
There's Carmelo Anthony, an all-around game. 15 points, 12 boards, 3 assists. Hasn't been a good shooting night for him. Only 5 of 17 from the floor, but that has not affected his play on the defensive end or on the boards.
Worked hard on the boards, no question about it. And a couple of big passes. Get Syracuse some easy baskets.
Canisius has to look for some threes now on offense and maybe not milk so much of the clock. Dukes with it. For Mallory. SU extending that zone. Dukes for Jones. Mallory, as they work the offense from behind the line. Mallory penetrates, missed the shot. Carmelo the rebound. A career-high 13 boards for Carmelo Anthony.
And you see the defense there realizing Canisius needs a 3, overextending out in the passing lanes, taking away the 3-point shot.
SU by 11 with the ball, whistle away from the ball, and a foul on Mallory of Canisius against Carmelo Anthony. And if it is indeed on Mallory, that will be personal foul number 4, and it is. So Dukes has 4 and Mallory has 4, and those are the 2 big guns for Canisius.
See, Anthony tries to flash through the lane, and Mallory just puts the clamps on him.
Carmelo 4 of 6 from the line in this game. Hits the first of 2. Canisius is well over the limit. Syracuse in the bonus. They'll get 2 free throws on every Canisius foul down the stretch. Carmelo entered the game a 69% free throw shooter. And he gets the roll on the second one. So Carmelo makes both. From the line in this game, Syracuse 23 out of 27. That's been a big difference.
Not doing it from the field, but doing it from the charity stripe.
13-point lead for the Orange. Warwick a near steal. Mallory on the baseline. Whistle and a foul is going to go against Syracuse. They're going to call it on Craig Forth. And that's only the 6th team foul for Syracuse. So while SU is in the bonus, Canisius will not shoot after that foul.
You see they get Mallory down on the blocks and catch Forth on a chippy reach in there.
Back live. Shot is missed. And Syracuse has the ball back in a 13-point lead. Carmelo going one-on-one against Downey. That's a mismatch. Downey's called for the personal. You got Kevin Downey, a 6'3" freshman, against Carmelo Anthony, only the best freshman in the nation, most likely. At least according to Sports Illustrated magazine he is. And I would second that.
Slight mismatch there. You see Syracuse last 2 trips down the floor trying to isolate Anthony down on the baseline.
Downey now has 4 as Carmelo goes to the free throw line for 2 more. And now the lead is 14. It appears that Syracuse has stemmed the tide, and they're going to get out of here with a victory. But as I mentioned a little bit earlier, maybe some lessons learned in the fact that Canisius came in here and gave the Orange men a battle. Carmelo makes both free throws, and quietly he's up to 19 points. He's scored at least 20 in every game so far for Syracuse. He may get there yet. Here's a steal. Warwick leaking out is Quack. Knocked away. Amazingly, no foul call. The SU bench up in arms. Back the other way comes Canisius. Moten Sproul has it blocked. Forth the rebound. Outlet for Quack. Here's another try on the break. Duaney. It's 2-on-2 though, and Quack will pull it back out.
Good choice. Run some clock here.
Unbelievable that a foul wasn't called in that last dunk attempt by Duaney.
Downey, good hustle, got back.
.125 to go. SU by 15. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Canisius not fouling. McNamara for Carmelo. 4 seconds to shoot. 3 seconds. McNamara for 3. Missed that one. And the shot clock violation. Looked like there was some contact on McNamara out there too.
A little bit. I agree with you.
Well, it's a 15-point lead for Syracuse nonetheless. Canisius with the ball with 1:12 to go. And Jim Boeheim is reminding the officials that this game isn't quite over yet. Don't have to put the whistle away just yet. Griff's with it. Jones down to the corner. Downey penetrates. Kick it back outside. Mallory will try a 3. He missed it. Carmelo the rebound. Under a minute to go. Syracuse is going to get a victory here. They lead by 15. Carmelo penetrates. Pull-up jumper. Got it. Carmelo's got his 20 again. 21 points for Carmelo Anthony to go along with 13 boards and 3 assists. SU by 17 points. Jones for 3. Missed. Long rebound. Mallory slams into Forth. No whistle. And now we do have a whistle. And it will go against Canisius.
Wow, are we missing something here or what? Mallory, big time contact with Forth. No call.
Quith Wade right in front of us said, it's getting ugly.
Perfect way to describe it.
There's Quith. He's smiling now, but
Mallory just lowered the shoulder right into Forth there. No call. And that knocked Forth to the floor, and Moten Sproul engaged with Forth on the floor, and they caught him with the foul.
So Carmelo Anthony will go to the free throw line and talk about stepping up your game. 15 points this half. In the wake of this Canisius battle, Carmelo responded.
McNamara and Duaney were big down the stretch, keeping Syracuse in the game, and then Anthony came in with the sledgehammer and delivered the finishing blow toward the end.
22 points now for Carmelo. If he hits this second free throw, he will equal Hakeem Warwick for team high in scoring with 23. John Ferris back in for Canisius as Moten Sproul leaves. 26 of 30 from the line. And Carmelo makes both. It's a 19-point lead for Syracuse. 35 seconds to go. Downey for Dukes. Feeds Mallory. Driving. Blocked by Fort. Off the floor. Here comes McNamara. Shot clock is off. SU does not need to shoot the ball, leading by 19. 20 seconds to go. They'll run the offense anyway. It appears. Warwick with it. For fourth at the free throw line. Back for Warwick on the tiny jam. There's your exclamation point. SU takes a 21-point lead. Dukes will launch a three and hit. Canisius calls for time.
Fourth with a pretty dish, and Warwick waltzes down the lane. Major hammer time there. And Syracuse spreads the floor, and Warwick realizes nobody's going to step in and guard him. Gets a free ticket to the lane and sends it down.
25 points for Hakeem Warwick. That's a career high. Anthony with 23, McNamara with 19. They get the inbound to Craig Forth. They will not foul him, it doesn't appear. Jump ball with 0.6 to go. Held ball possession goes to Syracuse. And I'll repeat what Queth Duaney said a moment ago. It's getting ugly.
Last few minutes, no question about that.
Final seconds will run off the clock, and Syracuse gets out of here with a victory over Canisius. 87-69 the final score. Jim Boeheim breathing a sigh of relief. These Orange men will head into Big East Conference play, riding an 8-game winning streak. 23 points for Carmelo Anthony to go along with a career-high 14 rebounds and 3 assists. Hakeem Warwick leads Syracuse in scoring with 25. Jerry McNamara with 19. Queth Duaney with 10. And the Orange put up another impressive offensive showing, 87 points in the game, and an 18-point win over Canisius.